Hello everyone, this is EventType. In this video, I'm going to show you a game which was played by Daniil Dubov against Sergey Karjakin. I'm not going to do any long intro, just let's get into the game. In this game, Daniil Dubov had white pieces and he started with e4. Sorry about that, he started e4, Karjakin played e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, and this is the Italian game. Bishop c5, and here white has so many options. He can play d3. He can play c3, which is the Gioco piano. There is also the Evans gambit. But in this game, Dubov decided to play c3 to prepare d4. Black played knight f6, d4, e takes d4, and here the main line is actually c takes d4 and also e5. Those are the two main lines. But in this game, Dubov decided to play a very strange sideline, which is not played quite a lot, and that is b4. First, getting a tempo on the bishop. This is known as a delayed Evans gambit. You played b4 only after playing c3 and d4, so it's sort of a delayed Evans gambit. So here, black played bishop to b6, and now e5, knight to e4, threatening to take the pawn on c3, but Dubov didn't care. He just played bishop to d5, attacking the knight. Knight takes on c3, knight takes on c3, d takes on c3, and now bishop to g5, attacking the queen. Black can play f6 to blunt this diagonal, but after playing f6, black wouldn't be able to castle on the king side because of the bishop on d5. So instead, he decided to play knight to e7. White simply castled, h6, bishop h4, and black castled on the king side. Actually, the best line is to play g5, bishop to g3, and then a5 to undermine the pawn on b4. I can understand why Karjakin didn't go for that. I guess it's because now he cannot castle on the king side. After he played h6 and g5, he's weakening his king side too much, and it's going to take him a hell lot of time to castle long. So instead, he decided to simply castle on the king side first, rook to e1, queen to e8, unpinning the knight, and now black is threatening to take the bishop on d5. So I played bishop to b3, a5, and now white played. Well, you might want to pause this video and find out what Karjakin played in this position. It's not a winning move or anything, but it's, I mean, what Dubov played in this position. It's not a winning move or anything, but it's quite a nice move, so you might want to pause the video and find out what white played in this position. Okay, I hope you found it. And just before I show you, don't forget to drop a like to this video. This is extremely helpful. It's helping me grow this channel a lot, so I would really appreciate that. So white played bishop to f6. Actually, bishop f6. First of all, the bishop cannot be taken because then white simply is going to play e takes on f6. And threatening rook takes on e7, and black queen would be forced to go to d8, and black's position is extremely passive. Actually, the engine top recommendation is to play knight to g6 and give up the queen, so black will not remain passive. But in the game, black simply didn't take the bishop on f6. He just played a4, kicking this bishop from b3, so bishop to c4. Still, black cannot take the bishop, so he played a knight to g6. And now another strong move, queen to d3, attacking the knight, threatening to take it with the queen because the f7 pawn is pinned. For example, if pawn takes, then now queen takes on g6 with check, king h8, and now check, and simply taking on f6, and there is no defense against queen to g7 checkmate. So actually, after queen d3, black is forced to do something against queen takes on g6 threat. So he did. He played d5. He takes on d6 en passant, attacking the queen, discover attack on the queen. So black played bishop to e6, and this is the critical moment in the game. You might want to pause this video. This is extremely beautiful move by Dubov. So I encourage you to pause the video and find out how Dubov played in this position. So pause the video and find out. Okay, I hope you found out how Dubov played. In this position, Dubov played queen takes on g6. He simply sacrificed his queen for the initiative. So obviously black is pretty much forced to take the queen, and then rook takes on e6. And in this position, okay, white gave up his queen for 2 pieces, but black cannot play any random move. For example, if he's going to take the bishop on f6, just to show you, if he's going to take the bishop on f6, then rook takes on e8 check, and white is up a piece in this position. So black is pretty much lost. So after in this position, also queen takes on e6 is not that playable, because then simply bishop takes on e6, king h8, and bishop takes on c3. In this position, white has 2 pieces, 2 minor pieces for the rook, so white is already standing clearly better. So in the game, black played queen f7, and now what would you do? Actually, the obvious move is just to play rook e4, and after queen takes on, to hope for something like takes, but in this position, if you look at the position, black is up a pawn. Black is up a pawn, and he has this bishop which is eyeing on the f2 pawn. So a random line, a very natural line, can go like this: rook c1, rook d7, attacking the pawn on d6, threatening to take it with the rook. So rook takes on c3, rook takes on d6. And yeah, black is still up a pawn in this position, and the f2 pawn is weak. So black is the only side that can play for a win. And this is not why Dubov sacrificed this queen. So after queen f7, he actually simply played bishop takes on c3. Not even hurrying for regaining the queen. White has only a knight and a bishop for the queen, but he also has the initiative. So in the game, black played king h8, removing his king from this diagonal, and white played rook e4, defending the bishop, meanwhile creating a discover attack on the black's queen. So queen to f5, and now rook to e7, attacking the pawn on g7, threatening to take it. So black is forced to defend. He cannot play any random move. He can't play like a3, for example, because now the simplest line would be just bishop takes on g7, king h7, and simply bishop c3, and black is completely lost. He's forced to block the check with his rook. So let's go back. In this position, queen f5, rook e7, black was forced to play rook g8. So now bishop takes on g8, rook takes on g8, and d takes on c7. White just simply regained the pawn on c7, and now this pawn is extremely dangerous. He's about to queen at any moment. So it's true. Now actually white don't has just 2 pieces for the queen. He has a knight and a rook for the queen, plus white is up a pawn. So this is reasonable compensation. Plus white has a very huge initiative. There is an enormous pressure on the g7 pawn, and the c pawn is simply about to queen at any moment. So black played queen to c2. Just to show you, once again, black cannot play any random move. If he's going to play something like h5, then rook c1, in order to support the pawn for the pawn's queening. And if black is going to play, once again, a random move, then bishop takes on g7, and the pawn is queening. Actually, the engine recommends simply to take the bishop for the pawn on c7, if I remember correctly. So after taking on c7, black played queen c2, attacking the bishop to e5, white is consolidating. Bishop takes on f2 with check, and now simply king h1. Black can't play anything in this position. The pawn on g7 is hanging. White is simply about to bring his rook into the game, and black is almost paralyzed. He cannot do anything. So he just played bishop to b6, and now h3 to avoid any back rank problems. Black played king h7. I'm not sure what's the purpose of this move. Probably he was afraid that in some lines, if black is going to allow white to queen his pawn, then he don't want this to come with a check, I guess. So I don't understand exactly why king h7 was played. And now rook e1, white is bringing his final piece into the game. a3, black wants to have a queen on a1. So king h2 by white. Simply some kind of a waiting move, I guess. And now once again, black is forced to play g5. If black would take the pawn on a2, then now quite an amazing line. Simply bishop takes on g7, and the bishop cannot be taken. Because if black is going to take the bishop, then white will simply promote to a queen, and black is completely lost. Actually, you can first trade the rooks and then promote to a queen, but in either case, white is completely winning. So the bishop takes on g7. Yeah, this is pretty much losing for black. Let's go back. So black played g5. because now knight d4, queen c4, knight f5, queen took the pawn on b4, and rook c1, while he's supporting his pawn's queening, and black played king g6. I guess this is one of the main ideas why black played g5 in order to create a square for his king to escape. So king g8, and now rook takes on g7, and once again black cannot take the rook, because if he takes the rook, then c8 queen, and white is completely winning. Not just because he is up a piece in this position. Actually, yes, white is up a piece in this position, but black king looks extremely shaky. So let's go back. Rook takes g7, black played king takes on f5. Rook takes on g8, black is forced to give up his bishop in order to stop this pawn from queening. So bishop takes on c7, bishop takes on c7, queen b2. Black still has some hope. Karjakin still has some hope to take the pawn and promote his pawn to a queen and maybe hold the game in that way. So he's attacking the rook. So rook c5 check, king to e4. But now white simply played the move and black resigned. You might want to pause the video and find out what white played in this position. So I hope you found it. White played rook to d8, and in this position, Karjakin simply resigned because after queen takes on a2, black can play rook to e5 check, king f4, and now rook to d4 is a checkmate. And of course, the white one queen alone cannot outplay two rooks and a bishop. Plus, this king is extremely exposed, so Karjakin simply resigned in this position. This is quite a wonderful performance by Daniil Dubov. I hope you love this game and find it beautiful. If you would like me to show more games that were played by Daniil Dubov, you can just write in the comments down below, and I will make sure to create more videos about him. I'm not promising I will create every single one of your requests. I mean, you can write in the comment down below if you like to see more Tal games or Morphy games or Dubov's games or Fischer games, and I will try to create a video about those players. That's all. Another quite important note, I didn't tell it in the beginning of the video because I didn't want to create such a long introduction. I mean, I didn't want to create any long intro, but for those of you who are interested, I give private lessons on the internet. Right now, I'm a 2,000 rated player, and I give private lessons. I started to teach chess since 2014. So, and I have some very strong students. I mean, my main students are like around 1,1700 rating. So if you'd like to learn chess with me, you can simply click the link below this video. I will leave there my email. You can contact me by email, or you can even contact me via WhatsApp. So if you'd like to have private lessons with me, you can simply contact me via email or WhatsApp. That's all for today. I hope you loved this video. If you did, feel free to share it on social media. I'm trying to grow this channel, so I would really appreciate if you would share this video with other people that would love to see such a beautiful Queen Sacrefice on G6. That's all for today, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.